Let's take a look, viewers, at India's Rafale fleet. Let me show you that. India's Rafale fleet, viewers, we're talking about the current fleet, of course, which is operated by 101 Squadron and 17 Squadron. India's Rafale fleet currently stands at 36 aircrafts. This is, of course, the details, and now equipped with India's specific enhancements, including 13 custom upgrades, is what we're talking about. 26 Rafale M naval variant ordered in April 2025 deal. That's the latest order. And the total cost around 7.5 billion for Navy jets. Delivery is expected to start 2028 to 2029, full induction by 2030 to 2031. To operate from INS Vikrant and INS Vikramaditya carriers. And proposed 114 Rafale deal approved by Defence Acquisition Council. Includes 12 to 18 flyaway from France, rest made in India. Estimated cost at 36 to 38 billion with 30 to 60% indigenous content. Final assembly planned in Nagpur, fuselage production in Hyderabad. All right, viewers, so these are all the details that we've just shared with you. And I also have now joining me Group Captain UK Devnath. He's a former Indian Air Force officer. Group Captain Devnath, welcome. And I'd like to begin with how you feel about the fact that India's defense capabilities are now getting such a big boost.
Definitely, it is an euphoric moment for all fighter pilots in Indian Air Force. I was myself a fighter pilot last year, MiG-23. 34 years of glorious career. Having said that, since I was also associated with procurement part of it, I must caution too much of optimistic view. See, when DAC gives approval, it only means acceptance of necessity. That means that Defense Acquisition Council only says, okay, 114 aircraft requirement, multi-role combat aircraft requirement of Indian Air Force is hereby accepted. And it says, go ahead, government to government deal between India and France. After this, now the actual serious behind the door negotiations will get initiated to sign the contract. And any contract of this nature, especially when it involves the transfer of technology, definitely takes a signing of contract takes anything between 1 year, 2 year to 3 years. So I am very optimistic that if all goes well, we will be signing the France government to government contract within next 1 year. But going by past precedents, by the time we sign the contract, it may take up to 36 months. Yes.
Now joining me, Wing Commander S. Sudhakaran. Wing Commander Sudhakaran, welcome. You're, of course, a former Indian Air Force officer. And I want to, of course, speak to you about this big development that has happened, which will, of course, boost India's defense, really. What do you have to say? All right, we're not able to get that connection there. But I want to, of course, go back to my other guests on the broadcast, Major General Rajan Kochar. Major General Kochar, if I really ask you about the timing. All right, let's now go across to Major General A.K. Sivach. And Major General Sivach, if I really ask you about the timing of this particular big development that has happened, it's a strategic timing. What would you like to say about that?
No doubt, The timing is very strategic, but remember that we are short of almost about 10 to 12 squadron, and the sooner we get, the better it is, because we are going to get our other aircraft decommissioned. MiG-21 is already phased out, Jagur will be phased out. But whatever is happening, it's happening in a very correct time frame, and once DAC has cleared this, it will be cleared by the CCS, and getting about 6 to 7 squadron, that is 114 aircraft, and out of which the 60% components of at least of 80 will be manufactured in India itself. It's going to be a game changer, and it will be a government to government deal about 3.25 lakh crore. Obviously, it will take almost 7 to 8 years for the whole deal to be sort of fructified. But all said and done, it's a very good move. Remember that we are trying to make HAMCA, Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, that's a 5th generation stealth aircraft. We are trying to get it made in India itself, along with our private partners and public sector. That itself will not take less than 10 years. So I suppose this is a good move and strategically very important. And fact that the 60% components will be made in India, that's a very, you can say, a corrective measure which we have taken in, because this will enlarge our inventory within our country itself. And another very important is that a source code, because we are trying to get involved in transfer of technology, try to put, in addition to the stealth missile, which is air to ground, beyond the visual range, that is your Meteor missile. And the way we have modified our Sukhoi 30 MKI and put BrahMos, possibly we will also try to put this in case we get these Rafale aircraft. Remember that we already have 2 squadrons. One squadron looking after the basically the western sector, and one looking after the northern sector. And with this 6-7 squadron coming, of course, it will make difference. And we have another 26 of them, which are the naval version, basically for INS Vikrant and INS Vikramaditya. So all in all, one can say that it's a good step, and now the government must clear it. That is, Cabinet Committee on Security must clear at the earliest, and let the process start, because this process of clearing approval by government to government may take about 1 to 2 years, and thereafter the delivery it will take another 6 to 7 years. So the sooner we do, the better for us, because it's a requirement of the day. As on today, we are short of squadron by 10 to 12, and we must get it signed and get it inducted in our Air Force in the next 3 to 4 years, at least the first 1 or 2 squadrons.
All right, I'd request all my guests to stay on.